All right, let's take a live look at Capitol Hill right now, where the Senate is in the middle of a vote-a-rama. That's when senators can offer an unlimited number of amendments to a piece of legislation and require the chamber to cast vote after vote. So let's bring in CBS News congressional reporter Taurean Small, who is very busy today. Taurean, you're just the man for the job. The vote-a-rama kicked off with a vote on whether to block the DOJ's anti-weaponization fund. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so this is amendments, constant amendments that both sides could add in order to change up this reconciliation package. That's to fund the departments or agencies under the Department of Homeland Security that was not funded, and that's why we saw the longest government shutdown in U.S. history over those two agencies. That's ICE and Customs and Border Patrol. Now, this vote-a-rama that Democrats are typically using, or right now utilizing, the strategy for this vote-a-rama is to essentially kill this anti-weaponization fund, even though Trump's acting Attorney General Todd Blanche said that the president would forego pursuing that because of the immense pushback that he's received from Republicans, that he's received from federal courts. The problem, though, is that Democrats aren't trusting of his word. And that also extends to some Republicans. Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina told us that if this were to go through and that this weaponization fund were to be attached to or make its way a reprisal at some point, he doesn't see a pathway forward for Todd Blanche to become the permanent Attorney General. It has to go through Senate confirmation, and he doesn't believe that Republicans in his conference are on board with it as it stands. But as it relates to this process, this isn't the most attractive thing to talk about, Senate processes, but this could extend for as long as the Senate minority wants it to. Typically, to end these, there's a negotiation between Senate leadership to decide when they'll say enough is enough. But really what Democrats are looking to do through this process is position themselves in a great way for the midterms, to say that they tried all they could to hamper President Trump's legislative agenda.
And Taurean, the House voted yesterday to rein in President Trump's war powers, advancing that resolution. Any word yet on what the Senate's going to do?
Yeah, 4 Republicans in the House joined with Democrats to get that across the finish line. Brian Fitzpatrick, who previously proposed a war powers resolution, joined with Thomas Massey, Warren Davidson, in order to essentially deliver this pretty substantial rebuke to the president. Tom Barrett, the one I missed from Michigan as well, a part of that list. What we've seen happen in the Senate so far, though, was a motion to advance a war powers resolution that was supported by a number of Republicans as well. 4 Republicans joined in that movement, which is why we saw that happen. The problem, though, is it hasn't hit the Senate floor for a full vote yet. And the reason why it was successful, at least in advancing that motion, is because there were a number of absences. There were a number of Republican senators who were not here to vote. Whether or not those same defectors and Democrats could find one more Republican to support them will be what we watch. But ultimately, it's at the discretion of Leader Thune to decide if and when that would see a full floor vote.
Taurean Small, thanks so much. Always good to see you.